So let me just check the time. We'll get started. I'm Erica. If we haven't met before, welcome. Please know that you can make modifications. I'm going to suggest modifications in terms of this being a mindful flow. Another thing that's really important is that you are listening to your body. And if we go into something that causes pain, then know that you can come out of that right away. If there's already some sensation and things like that in your body, then if you're in a pose that increases that, then you might also want to come out or make an adjustment. What we're really looking for here is being able to breathe and stay present during this practice as we practice together. So let's start with you on your back, on your yoga mat. And when you lay on your back, let's begin in resting pose. Feet mat width apart, knees together. One hand on your heart, one hand on your abdomen. Notice the floor supporting your body. Notice how it feels to have your feet on your mat. Notice your knees leaning against each other. And soften your shoulders down toward the floor as if they're rolling back onto your mat. Bring your awareness to your breath. Allow your breath to very naturally start to get longer, both on the inhale and the exhale. Maybe you can even become present to the sensation of your breath as it comes in your nose and goes out of your nose. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Open mouth, sigh. Hug your knees into your chest. If you like, you can rock side to side. And then hug your right knee in and either put your left foot on your mat or extend your left leg all the way down to the floor. Keep your feet active, so toes are reaching toward the ceiling. Draw your right leg in a little bit closer toward your chest. Extend your right leg to the sky. Bring your hands behind your right thigh bone. Press your right heel up as if it's holding up the ceiling. And then if you like to add on, you can walk your hands up your leg, maybe even hovering your left foot and leg off of the floor. Draw your left leg into your hip socket. You're fully connected. Last breath in. Exhale, hug both knees in. Keep your left knee hugged in. Right foot can go to your mat, or you can extend your right leg all the way down to the floor. Dorsiflexion with your feet. Toes are facing toward the sky. On your exhale, you can hug your left knee in a little bit closer. Extend your left leg up to the ceiling. Left hand come behind your thigh bone, and you can interlace your hands if that feels good. And there's a little traction happening here. You're pressing your left hand into you're pressing your left leg rather into your hands, and you're pressing your heel to the ceiling. So there's lots of energy through your arms and through your legs. You can walk your hands up your leg, maybe also hovering your right leg off of the floor. Keep breathing, staying present to any sensation you might be feeling. Remembering that it's okay to feel sensation. Last breath in. Exhale, hug both knees in. Begin to rock forward and back on your spine, or come through on one side of your body to tabletop. From tabletop pose, take your knees wide on your mat, Balasana, child's pose. Forehead can come down to the floor, or you can place a block or a pillow under your head. And if your hips don't go down to your heels, that's okay. You can keep your hips lifted, and it will be more of a puppy or Anahatasana pose. So you get to choose which feels best for your body today. Soften your sternum bone down toward the floor. Draw your shoulders onto your back. Take your right arm, thread it under your left arm for a twist from either puppy or child's pose. One more breath on the right side. Come back through center. Left arm threads under your right arm. Twist on the second side. Breathe into the space between your shoulders. One more breath. Complete exhalation. Come back through center. You can choose to stay in puppy or child's pose, or you can come up through tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Press down into your hands. Lift your hip bones away from your hands. From down dog or tabletop, you can reach your right leg to the back of your mat or to the space behind you. Keeping your legs straight for the first couple breaths. And then reaching your leg up a little higher, bend at your knee, roll your hip open. This can also be done from tabletop or with your forearms on the floor. Switch sides. Left leg lifts back. Lift your leg a little bit higher. Just playing around with what's possible. And staying present as you explore this space. Bend at your knee, roll your hip open. Two more breaths. Lift to your highest, and then come back down, everybody to tabletop. Hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, lift forward. Lengthen through the sides of your body. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the earth. Keep moving with your breath. Staying aware of your movement and your breath. Maybe feeling it through every part of your spine. Last breath in. Exhale, round into cat pose. And then stay in cat and start to explore this space. Forward and back, side to side. And then when you're ready, returning to a neutral backbone, tabletop. Tabletop or downward facing dog. Look forward. If you're in down dog, lift your heels and your hips. Step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reach up to the ceiling. Hands to your heart center. Take a moment to feel your feet on the floor. Feel your hands gently pressing together. Lengthen through your spine as if reaching up through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach up with your arms. As you exhale, go over to the right side of the room. Inhale, center. Exhale, left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Come back through center. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take your feet wider apart. Could be hip distance or even wider than hip distance. Put a little bend in your knees. This is called palm tree pose. So you're going to let your arms and your legs be a little more flexible and agile, starting to twist side to side. Arms are kind of flailing in the air a little bit, kind of like when we as kids might have just played around with moving our body through space. You might notice that as I twist side to side, I'm letting my opposite foot come off the floor a little bit so that there's lots of room for my knees to move. And then if you like, you can close your eyes. You don't necessarily have to look at anything or look a certain way. This is a really great way to clear the space around you, to get energy moving differently through your body and even in the space that you're practicing today. And you can go a little faster. You can let your hands make contact with your body. And it's loving contact. It's gentle, even though the contact is happening. And then slowly you're gonna come back to center, pretty naturally letting your body go from movement back to stillness. Mountain pose, feet come close together or to touch. Palms face your legs, lift up through your collarbones. Inhale, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down to the earth. Halfway lift. This time, place your hands on the floor next to your feet. Step back to high plank. You can stay on your toes or you can come to your knees. Press away from the floor and lift your collarbones to the front of your mat. Notice the way that you're making contact with the floor. Be present to how strong you are as you hold this plank. One more breath in. Knees to the floor, lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, press into the tops of your feet. Feel your kneecaps lift off of the floor. Bhujangasana Low Cobra. Peel up off of the floor. Notice if your elbows are out and draw them in toward your ribcage. Lift a tiny bit higher, lengthen through your spine, lower back down. On your next inhale, you can come into Cobra or upward facing dog. For up dog, press into the tops of your feet and your hands. Legs are lifted, arms are straight. One more breath in either Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Two more breaths. Look forward, step or lightly hop forward. Halfway lift, bow forward. Reach up to the ceiling. Hands to your heart center. Utkatasana chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back and down as if you're going to sit in a chair. Hands can stay at heart center or you can reach your arms up. Chair pose is like a lightning bolt. So in a lightning bolt, there's lots of energy contained in that lightning bolt. And just like in chair pose, we're cultivating that energy too. So there's a squeezing in of the hips, whether your feet are together or whether your feet are apart. There's still energy hugging in at the hips. Whether your arms are extended or your hands are at heart center, there's a hugging in through the shoulders with your shoulder blades on your back. And with all that energy, it's like you're cultivating it with your breath. Take your seat a little bit lower. One more breath in. Exhale, fold forward, release the chair pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, high to low plank or no plank. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Hands can be at your hips or at your heart center, or you can reach your arms all the way to the ceiling. Feel your feet and how they make contact with the floor. Be present to your breath as you hold warrior one. Last breath in. Hands to the earth, high to low plank or no plank. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog or tabletop. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Choose your arm variation. And know that as you stay and breathe in warrior, you might need to make a change with your arms. Maybe you start to become so aware of how your body's feeling that you notice that you actually need to do something different. Soften your jaw muscles like you're separating the top and bottom of your jawbone. Let yourself stand in your strength. One more breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor, high to low plank or no plank, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Balasana, child's pose, or Anahatasana, puppy pose, with your hips lifted. Walk your arms over to the right side of your mat, side body stretch. You can even place your right forearm under your forehead to bring the floor up to you. Last breath on this side. Come back through center. Walk your hands over to the left side. Side body stretch from puppy pose or child's pose. One more breath. Back through center. Down dog or tabletop. Reach your right leg back. Option to bend at your knee and roll your hip open. And then take your right knee all the way forward to your nose. Step forward, crescent lunge. Right foot is forward. Hands can come up and be placed underneath your shoulders, or arms can be reached to the ceiling, so hands are above your shoulders. Gently press back into your left heel. And know that at any time, if you want to put your left knee on the floor, you have permission to do that. When you're aware of what your body needs, you can absolutely take what it is your body's asking for. Take your hands to your heart center, lengthen your spine, twist to your right. This can be with your elbow on your thigh bone, or you can put your hand on the floor. Open your arms like wings, or take your right hand to your sacrum. Draw your right hip bone toward the back of your mat. On your exhale is when you twist. One more breath. This time as you come out of the pose, warrior two. So you're going to open your arms up. Right foot is forward. Right arm reaches forward and left arm reaches behind you. Feel as if your feet are pulling your mat away from underneath of you. Extended side angle. Right forearm comes down to your right thigh bone. Left hand can stay on your hip. You could reach your left arm up so that you create a full side angle with the left side of your body. Or you can wrap your left arm around for a half or a full bind. 3, 2. Okay, your fullest expression. Exhale, hands to the floor, vinyasa, or go directly back to down dog or tabletop. Reach your left leg toward the back of your mat. If you like, you can bend at your left knee, roll your left hip bone open. From tabletop or down dog, left knee comes toward your nose, turbo dog. And then left foot steps forward, crescent lunge, second side. You might choose a different arm variation on this second side of crescent lunge. Be willing to be so present with your body that you notice that one side is different than the other, and you might make different adaptations or modifications on each side. It truly does not have to look the same. Last breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Twist to your left. This might be with palms together, sternum bone reaching toward your thumbs. Or you might like to open your arms. Maybe placing your hand on your sacrum bone. Give it a little up dog. Lift through your chest bone. One more breath. And as you exhale and unravel, come into warrior two. Left foot is forward. Heel to arch alignment in your feet. Let your breath settle your bones into warrior two. Like there's a landing into your feet and into your legs. At any time, your hands can come below your shoulders. Extended side angle. Your tailbone starts to angle toward your back foot. Left arm to your thigh bone, a really gentle placement. So we're not putting all of our weight into our thigh bone. We're actually lifting up out of the thigh bone, so much so that you can hover your arm. Right arm can reach up, almost as if it's in line with your ear. Hand can come to your hip, or you can wrap around for a half or full bind. 3 more breaths. Last breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take your vinyasa or go to tabletop or down dog right away. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward. Step or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reach all the way up to the ceiling. Hands to your heart center. If you have a yoga block or a book or something that you can use like a yoga block, I'll invite you to grab that now. We're going to come into Halfmoon pose. So right hand will be on your block. Your hand could also be on the floor, or you can hover your hand if you don't have a prop with you. Left leg lifts up. You're stacking your hips open. Your left hand can stay on your hip, or you can extend your left arm up to the sky. For more grounding, your eyes are going to look to the floor. For a little more elevation, you can lift your eyes toward the ceiling. Take one more breath in. Exhale, step out of the pose, back up to standing. Second side, Halfmoon. Left hand to your block, the floor, or hovering off of the floor. Reach your right leg up. It's not about how high your leg goes, but it could be about you getting curious about what is possible for you today. And if you do that from a space of awareness and presence, a space of mindfulness, then it will be the right height for you today. One more breath in. Exhale, step forward, release. Hands come together at your heart center. Or you can take your arms down by your sides. Pyramid pose. Right foot forward, left foot back. If you have your prop, you may want to use it for pyramid. Heel to heel alignment in your feet, or you can take your feet a bit wider. Right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. Inhale and lengthen. As you exhale, hinge forward at your hip flexors. Hands can stay on your hips. You could walk your hands to opposite elbows behind your back. Or you can start to round forward, maybe bringing your hands to your yoga prop or to the floor. Last breath in. On your exhale, you can come back up and switch sides. Pyramid pose, left foot forward, right foot back. Heel to heel alignment, more or less. If you want to take more space, that's okay. Lift up as if you are reaching away from your pelvis. And then as if there's like a ballet bar in front of you, you're going to fold forward and over that bar. You can choose the arm position that feels right for you. either working with a long backbone or starting to round your spine forward. It's okay to put a little micro bend in your knees and create a release valve for your hamstring. Two more breaths. Come back up to standing and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Halfway lift. High to low plank or no plank. Upward facing dog or cobra to downward facing dog. Come to your hands and knees. Anahatasana puppy pose. Hips stay stacked on top of your knees. Walk your arms forward on tented fingers if that feels okay. Going to come into a shoulder and a chest opener in puppy pose. Roll your upper arm bones under. Retract your shoulders onto your back. One more breath. Exhale completely. And then make the transition all the way onto your stomach. Active Sphinx pose. If it's okay for your low back, you're going to keep your feet and legs close together. Press down into the tops of your feet and reach your chest bone toward the front of your mat. Jalandhara Bandha, put a little tuck in your chin and lengthen the back of your neck. Keep reaching your sternum bone forward as if it's moving toward the front of your mat. Last breath in. Exhale, stack your hands, rest your forehead, and lay on your stomach. Take your hands off of your mat onto tented fingers. Elbows are going to bend. This is a version of cobra, low cobra. So you're going to walk your hands back so that they're more or less in line with your shoulders. Elbows are reaching toward the ceiling. Press down into the tops of your feet and keep your legs active. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, lower back down. Two more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one, lift up. This time, hold it. Keep on breathing. Maybe you lift your legs. Maybe you reach your arms toward the back of your mat, locust pose. 5, 4. Feel all the spinal muscles engaged. 2. Last breath in. Exhale, release. Rest your arms and legs. Turn a cheek. If you have your cheek turned, you can take it in the opposite direction if that feels good for your neck. You could even bend your knees and lightly windshield wiper your legs side to side. Take your legs back down to the floor. Hands come under your shoulders, low cobra. Tabletop. You can stay in table or you can go to downward facing dog. Pigeon pose, right knee comes forward. You can stay up on your hands or you can bring your forearms down to the floor. An option from your back for pigeon, figure 4 hip release. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. Left foot can stay on the floor or you can draw your left leg toward you. Two more breaths. If you're in figure 4 hip release, you can uncross your legs, perhaps taking windshield wipers. If you're in pigeon pose, you can come to down dog or tabletop. Second side. Pigeon with your left knee and leg forward. Notice that your back leg is in alignment from your hip, toes facing the back of your mat. You can stay lifted or come down to your forearms. Or figure 4 hip release. Left ankle crosses above your right knee. Right leg can stay down or you can bring it closer toward your torso. One more breath. If you're in figure 4 hip release, you can uncross your legs and take anything from your back that feels good. If you're in pigeon pose, you can come through down dog or tabletop. In the next 2 to 3 breaths, making your way onto your back. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees out. One hand on your heart, the other hand on your abdomen. Or for more of a chest opener, you can bring your arms up overhead, resting on the floor as if like wings. If you'd like to create more space for your low back, you can come to resting pose. Feet mat width apart, knees together. Let your muscles melt down as if melting into your yoga mat. Unhinge your jaw. One more breath. Open mouth, exhale. Supine twist to the right. Hips go to the left, knees go to the right. Arms can come out like the shape of a T or a W. Soften your bones into the twist. Take your knees through center, twist to the second side. Hips go to the right, knees go to the left. Make any adjustments to create more comfort through your shoulders, your spine, and your hips. You might even like to place a prop underneath or between your knees. Take your knees through center. Hug your knees in. Extend your legs and arms to the ceiling, waterfall pose. This allows energy to come back toward your heart to nourish it, flushing through your lymphatic system, allowing the cells to have fresh nutrients. One more breath in. Exhale, knees to your chest. Shavasana, final resting pose. Lay down your legs and your arms. If you would like to put a pillow under your knees or under your head, please take time to do that. You could also cover yourself with a blanket so that your body stays warm as you lay in deep rest for a few minutes in silence. Rest your awareness to your heart center. Notice the gentle ebb and flow of your natural breath. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Come to rest on one side of your body. And silently to yourself, complete this sentence. The place in my life where I require mindfulness right now is. Come up to seated, hands at your heart center. Head bowed to your heart. The light in me honors, acknowledges, and bows to the light in you. Namaste.